So now we need to decide where, again, we're ending our television unit. So if you realize that this line is it running along the floor, so if it goes past here, that means it's inside the back wall. So we know we're going to stop it before there. Same thing here, this line, that line running along the wall, when it hits the corner, that's the absolute furthest it can go. This line we can't tell. In the end, if we were to run this straight out, that's where it would tell us. Same thing, straight up, that's where it would tell us it's in the corner. But we're not sure, and I don't think it needs to go all the way to the corner. To me, that looks a little funny. I think I'm going to stop it somewhere back here where it looks like it's just past the television, because it makes more sense that it's just past the television. So what I'm going to do, match it up with there, trying to make sure it's nice and horizontal, and push it up, and then run it just past the television. And there, a nice line like that, and then straight up and down. And now I have a television unit. Now this I think is just it's dropping a little bit, which I don't like, but it's gonna be okay. Alright, so now I need to erase this line because it's underneath the television unit, and that's fine. Doesn't make a lot of sense. In reality, I would actually, it would be smarter to do this maybe after and then have it running in front, but that we could change that later as well. So if we were to get rid of, these lines here, this is going to start to make more sense as well. Alright, so now we have a television unit, a TV stand in our room. What we can finish off with is if we measure this and try and cut it in 3, so it's about 16 and a half, or sorry, 6 and a half. So that means every 2-ish, we'll go a little more than 2, so I'm going to go down by 2 and a bit, and there. That looks pretty reasonable. I'll make a mark on here. So I just did a little math. That's all, little math, nothing crazy. There. They're not perfectly even, but they do the job. It looks like you could choose to cut it and do drawers. You could actually, we could draw some boxes in there to make it look like places where you can put a VCR, yes, a DVD player, an Xbox, or whatever you want. The goal, one really easy thing you can do is if you do a straight horizontal line going from the front edge, that helps you see that inside of it. And then if I did a line from that edge to the dot and run it into that front line, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well there, now that makes sense as a shelf, right? You can see that it's a shelf. So that might have been a little confusing, but obviously you can replay it a few times and just watch through it if you need to. But the idea is this goes straight back because that's that end of the shelf. This is the inside line, and then there's that inside, and it should be matching fairly close with that top corner if you really want it to look decent. And then you could do, if you wanted each of these to be shelves, you would do that down here as well, and down there as well, a little bit. And so that I know if I do this straight horizontally, I'm going to match it up over here, slide it up. And same thing down here, match it up. And now I've got them. So that tells me that I don't actually need that line down there. I won't be able to see it. So due to the fact that that shelf got really short, you can't see it at all. So it's not as important. So or not that it's not as important, you just can't do it. And so there we go, 3 open shelves. Depending on what you want to do, you might want to leave it as just like drawers, or you might want to actually do it like this. And if I were to try and draw an Xbox or whatever, I would draw that front edge, and then I still have to make it go to the dot if I'm going to lay it down. If you're going to stand it up, then it should still, those lines should still follow. And then they would go back. You'd erase that. And now you could try and do your little things like that. Anyway, so makes some sense. Sitting in there is totally reasonable. We're gonna stop there for a bit, and I'll do a door frame over here, and I think we'll be done for the video.